What's up, everyone? Matt Kane here from Kane's Corner. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow on Instagram, Kane's Corner Sports, and Maddie Kane 105. And make sure you follow me on Twitter, also Maddie Kane 105. Again, make sure you subscribe, follow on Instagram, follow on Twitter. Let's get on to the program. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Kane's Corner. Here, I'm Matt Kane, giving you all the latest and best news in sports. We got a lot to cover today. This is actually going to be one of the first episodes that I'm actually covering three sports, being the NHL, the NBA, and the NFL. But where we have a lot to talk about, we have a lot of topics. And as we look through the list, that'll be on my right. We look through it. We're going to start out with a little NBA Finals. We're going to update where we are, and then move into some NHL playoffs. The Stanley Cup Finals are finally here. That is being played on Wednesday night. It's Tuesday for me. The show's going on Thursday, so Wednesday's game one for the Stanley Cup Finals. I'll be breaking down my picks. And we're going to be talking a little more about Baker Mayfield and possibly the Carolina Panthers being in his future. But before I get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you follow along. Today, Tuesday, June 4th, June 14th, excuse me. The time I'm recording this is Flag Day. You know, not a lot of people celebrate Flag Day or really know when Flag Day is or what it's about. Well, Flag Day, little history session from you guys, from me. For you guys, from me, history session. Flag Day is the anniversary of the creation of the U.S. flag. A nice round of applause for that. And of course, being it's Flag Day, coincidentally, U.S. soccer plays tonight. I had to break out for jersey of the day. I had to break out a U.S. soccer jersey. Go pro-American here. I got the USA number 8, Julie Ertz. This is the women's team. That's why they got the 4 stars. The men probably won't have a star for a little while. But, yeah, Julie Ertz. It's the 2020. I believe it's the home. It's got to be the home because it's white. So it's 2020 home, United States women's. Julie Ertz, number 8 jersey. I like this jersey. It's one of my favorite ones. And this one, I buy most of my jerseys. Some of my jerseys I buy on a site called DHgate, which basically you get them from China and they're rip-offs, but they look really good. And I'll tell you which ones those are when I put them on screen. I don't think I've had one yet, but I got a Julie Ertz one, possibly in the future. It's red. That was from DHgate. This one is actually real. And the reason why I got this one real is because I wouldn't want them to mess this jersey up. This jersey is nice. It's very classic because it has the Nike with the actual lettering on it. A lot of jerseys you see, like I guess the Aaron Rodgers jersey, it just has the Nike swoosh. The other soccer jerseys just have the Nike swoosh. Most of them just have the Nike swoosh. They won't actually have the Nike. And then I like that the number is towards the chest, and then the back. I don't know if you could see, but this is navy. It looks a little black, but it's all navy. And then the back is like, oh man, look at my neck here. The back is red and white, like red and white stripes. It reminds me kind of like a candy cane. That's what I love about it. It's very clean, very crisp. I love white jerseys, except I don't really wear this out too much because I don't want to get stuff on it. That would be a disaster. But like the Ben Simmons jersey that I wore last time, white jersey with red, white, and blue all over it. Classic. Love it. That is the jersey of the day. Tune in the next show to see what jersey I'm wearing because these jerseys will not stop. I will tell you that for sure. All right, let's get into it. Let's dive into today and what we are talking about, starting with the NBA Finals. Now, just last night for me on Monday night, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Boston Celtics in Game 5. Listen, my predictions are looking right so far. I mean, I came on before Game 4, and I said the Warriors are going to win. And I said game 5, they're going back to the Chase Center. They're going to win that. I got a little, I got some comments on comments from Celtics fans, Celtics fanboys on Instagram. I made sure to comment right after the game to like the comment and say something back. But I got a lot of comments from Celtics fanboys. That's how Boston rolls. That's how a lot of fan bases rolls. I get it. I'm totally love it. Like I'll like every comment you comment on my reels, my posts, whatever. But I got those comments. I made sure to comment right after because I was right. And if you look back at the last show number 13, I believe that was, you look back on it, I said Golden State game 4, got that right. Golden State game 5, got that right. I said Boston game 6 going back to the Garden. And I said Golden State game 7. Listen, if I get this right, I mean, that's just incredible. I don't get a lot of things right. And basically, since I got started this show, I've been getting a lot of things weirdly correct, which I've enjoyed. There's been some things that have been blatantly wrong, terrible takes, but there have been some things that I've gotten right, including, which we're going to see later, the Colorado Avalanche going to the Stanley Cup. But the Golden State Warriors are playing the Boston Celtics tonight on Thursday, and I'm going to break it down who I think is going to win, and then who I think is going to take the finals, because let's be real, the finals will be on Sunday, and I don't think I would get another episode out unless there's an emergency show or something like that for the NBA Finals. So, Game 6, I'm sticking with the Boston Celtics in the TD Garden. Like, Boston, here's the thing about Boston, and a lot of this is what the people pointed out. Boston has never lost 2 in a row since January 17th or whatever, since they got on their big streak. They didn't lose 2 in a row. Well, guess what? Things end. They do. Things end. And now, just like that ended. Patriots in whatever, 2008, undefeated. Lose to the Super Bowl, to the Giants. That ended. That undefeated streak ended. No team has won the Super Bowl when their venue is at home. Guess what? Brady broke that. That ended. Stafford did it too. Things end, people. Streaks end. You can't think that a streak is going to continue to go on, and you can't use that as your argument. Sure, you can use it as part of it, but you can't use it as your main topic of argument to say that the Celtics are going to win. You can't. Things end. Streaks end. 10 years end. That's what happens in life. Things end. So Boston lost game 5 because they can't make adjustments. That's what Boston is. They cannot make adjustments, and they cannot realize how they can defeat the Warriors. Now look, Steph Curry had a bad game. He did not make 1 3-pointer, and guess what? That ended too. He did not make 1 3-pointer, and Boston still managed to lose that game. That just blows my mind. Listen, Andrew Wiggins, I'm going to be talking about him later. Fantastic game. Klay Thompson, he played good. Draymond Green he's playing better. But Steph Curry, if you told me Steph Curry was not going to make a 3-pointer in that game, I would have said Boston was going to win. That was shock. That was a huge shock to me. And I think game 6, Boston is going to eat from this crowd, and they're going to eat from this atmosphere. And I think that they'll win game 6. It's kind of like this is a now or never, because that's quite literally what it is. But this is now and never, and Boston needs to win it. So game 6, give me the Celtics. I think Boston, if I had to predict what would happen, I think Jayson Tatum's actually going to go out and play a superstar level game, because Jayson Tatum is looking like a player who's either going to swish that basket or airball it. Jayson Tatum is not playing to how I expected he would play, and especially how I ranked him as the number 9 in my top 10 in the NBA players. He's just not. You'd expect a lot more from Jayson Tatum, judging based on what we've seen in the regular season, heading into the playoffs until now. Jaylen Brown is more looking like that number 1 star for the Celtics, and I would argue that Robert Williams is edging in there as number 2, number 3, just because how big Robert Williams is, and especially in this matchup, how huge he is. That's just the end of it. Like, Jayson Tatum needs to come out here, and I think he will. I think he will do this, but he needs to go out there and have a great game 6 game. I understand that the person defending him has been tremendous in Andrew Wiggins, but still, he needs to have that game. And I think something's just going to click for him, and he's going to go out and have a good Game 6 game. As for the Warriors, I think what Boston needs to do is they can't let Steph get hot. They need to control Steph, and they need to control the Warriors during that third quarter. The Warriors' quarter is the third quarter, and if the Celtics can have a good offense and control Steph, they're winning that game. Because yesterday they scored 93 points, I think it was 97 points, somewhere around there. That's not acceptable for an NBA championship team, and if they want to win the championship, they're going to need to do more. As for the rest of the series, since I said I probably won't be on for the final part to give my final prediction, I would have to say the Warriors are winning, baby. The Dubs are taking the dub. Listen, if this game goes to Game 7, I think Steph Curry is going to have a tremendous game. He's going to put up 30 to 40 points, and he is just going to be absolutely ruthless from the three-pointer. Andrew Wiggins has been playing. He's been playing like he's a number 1 draft pick. That's what we wanted here. We wanted Andrew Wiggins to finally play up to his potential, and that's what he's doing. Listen, they're going to be eating off the crowd, and I think if the Celtics force it to Game 7, the Warriors are winning, and I don't have a doubt in my mind. You can comment all you want. You can comment. You could call me ballistic. You could call me a clown because you Boston fanboys think they're going to win, but the Golden State Warriors are playing like the better team. Boston's better on paper, but Golden State is coached better and they're playing better. There's some times when Boston outplays Golden State, but at the end of the day, after I look at that last game, Game 5, and I look at Game 4, I think the Warriors have been playing better. And I think it shows on the stat sheets who is the better team and what players are actually coming up clutch, because Andrew Wiggins is right now the second best player in this finals. The second. Jaylen Brown, shout out to him. He'll be third. But Andrew Wiggins is right now playing like the second best player in the NBA finals. Which leads me into my next thing. With Andrew Wiggins playing so great, I've seen a lot of buzz. Saying, maybe Andrew Wiggins can possibly, I wouldn't say steal, but kind of steal the NBA Finals MVP from Steph if the Golden State Warriors win it, especially after that last game when Steph had 0 3-pointers and Andrew Wiggins played great. Don't get me wrong, Andrew Wiggins is playing phenomenal, and he is the Finals MVP if there was no such thing as Steph Curry. Talking about Steph Curry not winning the Finals MVP, given the Golden State Warriors win, and you don't think Steph Curry should not win the MVP, I have serious questions for you because I don't think you're watching basketball. Listen, Steph had a bad game, and I'm not here to say anything. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm not here to say anything about Steph's game with Game 5. That was an awful game. But you look back at the games before that. Steph, scored 40 points, scored 30 points. He's averaging 30-something points. I think it's 33, but 33 points per game in the playoffs. And you don't think Steph Curry should win the NBA Finals MVP. I might be taking this totally out of account because I've seen very few. I mean, it's not like I'm scouring the internet for people to say Andrew Wiggins should win MVP, but I've seen a few things, and some of them are possibly jokes, which, I love a joke. I love some good jokes. But, I mean, just to think someone would put Andrew Wiggins over Steph Curry as Finals MVP is totally ballistic with me. Listen, who's playing good? Who's playing great? Steph and Andrew. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, like I said, playing to that number 1 potential when he was drafted in 2014, I believe, to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's playing like that. But, by the way, playing great defense on Jaysom Tatum. That is so underrated. His defense is underrated. I think, people laugh to think he was an all-star, but it's totally playing out, and he's like, hey, I deserve that all-star star. But, he's playing tremendous, but I don't think there's no way in heck I'm giving the Finals MVP to someone not named Steph Curry on the Golden State Warriors. I mean, Steph continues to amaze me game after game after game. Like I said, not last game, but game after game after game. And I think that this is the icing on the cake for his career. Like I said, he doesn't need a Finals MVP, but this is like a totally icing on the cake. If they win this NBA Finals, they win it without Kevin Durant, since that's what everyone like to point out. You know, Kevin Durant was on your team. If they win without Kevin Durant, this is the icing on the cake for Steph. He doesn't need to prove anything more to me to be a top 10 player. I already have him in my top 10, very close to the 9-10 fringe range, but still, I do think he's a top 10 player of all time. And if he wins this, totally solidifies his spot in the top 10 NBA players of all time. And quite possibly, I mean, I saw some Colin Cowherd with the Mount Rushmore thing. I think he could possibly get there just because how he changed the game and his 3-point, you know, like Mount Rushmore doesn't have the greatest presidents ever, you know, or the greatest, you know, they don't have the greatest things up there. Like, it's not the greatest of them all. You know, it's more about impact, and I feel like it's more about impact and influence and what that person did. But that's another day, another story, because we got to go into the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're finally set. The final is set between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. Listen, I talked about Tampa Bay the other week, and I thought it was kind of funny because I was talking about the water and what are they drinking, and if Tom Brady spiked the water or something with his TB12 electrolytes, because Tampa Bay sports are honestly peaking right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning are heading to their third Stanley Cup in a row, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are honestly, I think, NFC favorites beside the Los Angeles Rams, because I think Green Bay took a slide down, and I think, you know, the two Super Bowl teams, in my opinion, in the NFC are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Los Angeles Rams. I think a little lower is the Green Bay Packers. But regardless, we're talking about hockey here. So the Rays, I mean, I don't watch a lot of baseball, so someone's got to let me know how the Rays are doing, but they were in the World Series like 2 years ago, so I don't know. I think the city is peaking right now, at least for sports, and this is going to be something to remember if you're a Tampa Bay kid right now and moving forward in your future. You know, people are going to be talking about the Tampa Bay dominance when they talk about sports. But Tampa Bay heading to the Stanley Cup Finals, and boy, I am so happy they're in it. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's just because they were playing the New York Rangers. And don't even get me started about the Rangers fans to begin with. I'm not a fan of New York team fans because there's so many here and they're just so annoying. Like, don't get me started on the Bills fans. Don't get me started on the Rangers fans. Do not get me started on the Yankees fans. Oh, no. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Rangers fans, especially the Fairweather or bandwagon fans, because they're finally good. I mean, since Henrik Lundqvist left. But they're just they're just such a dirty team, and that's why I'm happy Tampa Bay won. The New York Rangers got away with so many hard-hitting hits at the head, but they're finally eliminated. I mean, Gerard Gallant, I think that's the coach's name. Listen, I truly believe that he tells his players to go out there and hit the hardest they can and try to injure other guys, because these hits are blatant. There's elbows flying to the head, and man, I love Palat in Tampa Bay dodged one of Trouba's elbows, but I mean, this is now a New York rant. This is now the New York rant show, where I'll just rant about New York sports. But no, I'm not a fan of the New York Rangers or the Tampa Bay Lightning, but if I had to pick who would win that series, Tampa Bay. But they're going up against Colorado, who I picked Colorado to win. And right now I have a kale shake and a kale dinner on the stakes. That's on the stakes right now. And quite honestly, I'm kind of excited to drink kale. I've never drank a kale smoothie, so I'd probably be excited to do so. But Tampa Bay is going up against the Colorado Avalanche. That game is going to be Wednesday night. So I'm recording on Tuesday, so I have no clue what's happened so far, as in terms of game one. But I'm gonna pick Colorado Avalanche to win this game. Wow, shocker. He had Colorado the whole time. Listen, I'll give Tampa 7 games just because Andrei Vasilevsky. He's going to be a very hard goaltender to get by, but I think with Nathan MacKinnon, the hot stud, and Kel McCarr, who is just goated in general, I think that they'll be able to get past Andrei Vasilevsky, and especially all they need to do is really capitalize on power plays, because that's what the New York Rangers did. And if they could take any notes on what the Rangers were best at, was capitalizing on penalties. Tampa Bay, in more of game 1 and 2 and the early games, Tampa Bay was committing a lot of penalties. And in the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs, when someone commits a penalty, the opposing team has to score on that. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to win the game, capitalizing on penalties are definitely going to be the strongest thing you could do. And, if Tampa Bay keeps committing these penalties, I think Colorado is going to throw at them in a fantastic lineup with McKinnon, Makar, Taves, Landeskog, Rantanen, like a type of mixture with them, and they throw at it, I think would be great. And the only thing I have against Colorado is Darcy Kemper coming back. He didn't play at all last series after being hurt in Nashville. Was it Nashville or St. Louis? No, he was certain in St. Louis. But he didn't come back, and he didn't come back at all for Edmonton. I'm worried about how he's going to play, but give me Colorado in 7. It's going to be a nail-biter for both teams. And Tampa, listen, they might just have the juice to do it. So if Tampa wins, I would not be shocked. Heading into the NFL, we're back with Baker, baby. Oh, man, Baker news. When will it stop? The Carolina Panthers are urgent to get the Baker Mayfield trade done, and they want it done by, I think, minicamp or something. I don't know. The Baker Mayfield at this point is like, it's just a sorry story. I think Baker is, like I said, I think Baker is better than a lot of quarterbacks, and including Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold. It's just like, oh my gosh, Sam. But I don't know if the best fit for him would be Carolina. He goes right into that division and is the second best quarterback, but I don't really like the fit in Carolina. I don't know if it's because I'm not a huge fan of Matt Rule as a coach. He was a college guy who really came in and didn't have any NFL experience and got that job. And we saw what happened with Sam Darnold, and they got rid of Joe Brady like shortly after the Carolina Panthers were out of that winning streak. So, listen, if Baker goes there, he's going to be the starter right away, and he's going to have to prove a lot, because his last year in Cleveland was awful. And I don't know if Carolina, they'd just be back at square one if they get Baker Mayfield. I think if they wait a year and they could possibly draft a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young, they can possibly start over. But no, I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, who knows if it's even gonna happen, because it's Baker freaking Mayfield. He's probably gonna say something or ruin that trade. I don't have a lot of in-depth analysis about Baker going to Carolina. All I could tell you is, listen, DJ Moore is a great player. Robbie Anderson's a great player. They just got a wide receiver 3, and I'm totally blanking on it, but I feel like he's pretty good. So they have good players to surround Baker with. But do I trust Baker Mayfield? No, I don't. All these shows feel quick. Like, I feel like I'm just talking for like 10 minutes and it already says like 23:50 on my stopwatch. But that's going to be all for today's show. Make sure you tune in to the NBA Finals. Make sure you tune into my Twitter. You'll probably be hearing a lot of updates. Maybe I'll get some videos out, post-game reactions, something like that on Instagram Reels or Instagram Stories. So make sure you look out for that. Yeah, Stanley Cup Playoffs also I'd be updating with that. And just look out for NFL news. Lamar Jackson's back. We got Dalton Schultz coming back. a lot of guys who were holding out for a contract are coming back to mandatory camp. So we're going to have probably a lot of NFL news in the next week, and especially after the Stanley Cup finishes, the NBA playoffs finish, I'm going to more transition into football and heading into that year. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you follow on Instagram, Twitter. Y'all know the deal. I appreciate all your support, and I appreciate everything that you guys have given to me. Shout out to the fans. Shout out to this person viewing it. I appreciate you. Make sure you tune in for next show. Peace.